So I want to make a quick video about a nice hookup between the OPZ and a sampler, right? So one of the complaints about the OPZ is that you can't sample right in, and that's totally true. But I found this app, or I've been using this app called SampleBot, okay, and it, you can basically bring in anything you want from any source. Like you can just download from iCloud or your Dropbox or something like that. But you can also record them in one by one, right? So you can make this nice bank of 15 samples. Okay, so the first, the only thing is that when you go to setup here, it's down on the bottom. The MIDI, the settings, you can, oops, it's a little, there it goes. MIDI control, you can only, it only listens to audio or MIDI on channel 1, right? So the first thing I did when I got my OPZ is switch my module to be 1, MIDI 1, right? That's this guy, right? So I just basically shifted everything over. So this is MIDI 1, and this is 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 da, 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 and then loops around, right? Because that way I save that channel, okay, for anything that's hardwired to only listen to MIDI 1, right? Since it's kind of not used, because there's no module or whatever. Okay, so like a hardware synthesizer or something like that, and on an app like this, right? So the drag is that it's only going to listen there, whereas a lot of apps you can say I want 2, 3, 4, whatever. Like here I have a whole bank of stuff. Like I'm running Animoog, DM1 is my drum machine, and an IM1, and then this guy, okay, SampleBot. Okay, so those guys are listening to bass and blah blah blah. Okay, now the other bummer about this is that you have to program this in, program in the how to listen to it by default. Okay, by default it's not doing anything, not listening to anything. There's no settings. Okay, so sorry, I hit settings down there. I made this, so I got a MIDI control, got OPZ. So I made my own. No, that's sorry. I made a profile. So it's got a lot of settings for this kind of stuff, but by default there's nothing in there, right? So you just have to go through and make a trigger setup that will listen to the right keys. Okay, so you just go here, create new key binding. You say trigger, you say note. I started at C1, which is like right there, right? So anyway, so you just select the right one. Where am I? Whew. All right. So anyway, so if I started here at C1, I just ignored the black keys. You do just on press, and then you add an action, right? And then you just say play. You just click that, and then you just choose which bank you want to, or sorry, which sample in the bank you want to do. So I just started here. I did it this way, so it goes up. So it's like this is C1, do, all the way up through, and then it has 15 keys, 15 samples. So I'm actually just ignoring this last one. I may reprogram it, but as it stands right now. So I'm just going to cancel that because I already did all this. So in the end, what you'll get is this, like a set like this, right? Or actually, oh no, sorry, I started at F0. So G0 plays, 11, 12 through 15, and then, we start over here at D1 plays 6, which is the next row up. It's actually labeled like do, and sorry, 1 through 5, 10 through 6 through 10, and then 11 through 15. Okay, so anyway, so in the end you end up with this whole set, right? And so the cool thing is when you get back here, there we go. So sample. Like I said, really easy to record right in here directly, or import samples if you have like a library, right? So now if I go up, so here's my samples. I get the same thing. Sorry about the camera work. Cool. And you can just program it in like anything else, right? So it's got a full set. Actually, you can see them triggering and everything. Pretty cool. still works and it responds to everything. So it's a way to get a hold of a sampler. Let me stop that. Shut up. It's a way to get a hold of a sampler, you know, a pretty decent one, you know, even though you got an iPad or whatever, without a lot of work. So anyway, so switch your MIDI to 1 here, shift the MIDIs over, so 2, 3, 4, 5, so it makes sense, and then just program this guy in there, and it's pretty cheap, and it's not bad because to edit a sample, say, I don't like that one very much. You just go to the side here and see. Here's your sample. You can like edit it. You could chop it if you wanted to, you know, shrink it. You could change the volume. You could actually even pitch it down or pitch it up, which is pretty cool. So, wait, pitch. Sorry, that's balance. Pitch. You could speed it up. All, you know, speed. It's pretty cool. So there we go. So if I just wanted to edit it, kind of nice. So, you know, it's kind of a drag to, you know, like have to have an iPad if you're trying to get around an iPad, but, you know, like Cuckoo was showing, like, you know, you could turn the volume off and like get a really nice, you could really, like, you know, this is a nice collection and everything's syncing up really nicely. So, pretty great. So anyways, I think that's it. So anyways, I'm going to see if I can export this setting, which, you know, I think you can. And if so, I'll try and post it somewhere. Like if you go to settings, sorry, there they are. Yeah, so export, I'm going to see if I can post that somewhere where you can get a hold of it. And that would just map things to MIDI 1 and then just the normal white keys versus that. And like I said, skipping the other. I'm going to play around too and see if I can get these guys mapped to something in there because they have tons of triggers. I mean, you can really, you know, like, see, you can do control change, right? So, you know, you can make your control changes do stuff. I'm assuming maybe pitch things up, pitch it down, which would be super cool. So anyways, this is just a start, and it's just a basic idea because I wanted to be able to sort of throw some samples in here and or try and control some my own samples. Jeez, man, a lot of menus. There we go. Anyways, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's everything. If you have any questions, just shout in the comments. What I got going here is like just a little IKEA magazine stand or something, and it's been really nice because, you know, it sort of allows me to noodle, but tweak my these guys, tweak my iPad synths, and that's it. Cool.